Countdown. Oh, forgot something. Been a while. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Oh, it's me, Icebox, back again. Guys, we are going to have an interesting show. I have got a guest on with us tonight that I think y'all going to enjoy. We're going to talk about some equipment that we like to use, and we're just poor folks on this here channel, and we kind of got some ideas and things that you guys might be interested. And I don't like leaving my guests in the dark room, but we are going to give you an update on our little camping trip. And guys, we had fun. I'm gonna tell you what, we did have fun. But anyways, let me get this other gentleman on here. You all guys know him. It's Richard Farabee with BFFG, Bigfoot Forest Giants, and here he is. Hey, buddy.
What's up, man? Just chilling.
You got it going on, H bud.
What's that?
I said you got it going on over there, huh?
Yeah, just chilling out, waiting backstage.
Waiting backstage. Hey, we good to folks. Waylon, I think, is still sick. I gotta give him a phone call, see if he's doing any better. He's taking some time to recuperate and everything. And well, I hope everybody wishes him well. I know I do. I miss him. I really do. But anyways, maybe we can get him back on next week. Anyways, guys, let me give a quick update on our camp out. Me and two other guys that hang on a second. Is anything over in the chat room? I don't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, people are saying, hey, Richard. I can see Spencer, Sharon, Maria. I can't type in it. I can only see it. I can't, which is different because the last time we did the show, I couldn't see the chat. You know
well, believe it or not, I can't see the chat.
I guess I'm hosting the show. How you guys doing? Today's special guest is Icebox.
Just ain't right. It ain't fair.
The Godfather's back on here.
Is he? Ask him how he's. I hope you're doing well, Godfather. I miss you.
He's saying something about your brain size or something. You know what he's referring to? Your brain size?
What brain? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You're going to have to help me out there because I can't see nothing in the chat. I've been clicked over I don't know how many times.
Huh.
Yeah.
I guess if I see a question, then I'll just go ahead and answer it.
Yeah, tell everybody hi for me because I don't know who's on here.
Hey guys, Tommy says hi. So we got Spencer in the house. We got the Godfather of the FCC. We've got Sharon. We've got Maria. That's all I can see so far on the screen. Because it's scrolling. So, and there's Mr. Leonard.
Hey, my man, Mr. Athos.
Yeah.
How you doing, bud? I hope he's in here because
he is.
I hope he's doing well.
He's there.
All right. Okay. Anybody else? I hate
the same ones. Everybody's saying hello to Leonard, and everybody's saying hi to you and me, and so.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start off with hey guys, I'm sorry I cannot read your chat, so if you're cussing me out, I can't see it. Ha ha ha. All right, let me get on with the camp out before we get started. Richard, me and two other guys that they're fairly new into this game. Matter of fact, one is brand new. He's got an interest, and his story is not really all that detailed. He saw something back when he was like 6 years old, and since I've been talking to him, he's really curious about what he saw. So he went with us, and he's the kind of guy that you trust. And he's very smart. You know what I mean? He's very level-headed. So he went with us, and we had another guy, Mr. Neil Decker. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but thankful that he went with us. He was great around the camp, and he was just a good guy to go with. We had a good time. We did take him a walk around the woods, and I showed him what signs or impressions. What's there? That we've been showing and seeing, and let him see it firsthand. We showed him the tree that's shoved in the ground. We showed him the bow, the tree arches, the handprint, and where the footprint used to be. The thing about it is we found two more tree arches. They were small. Well, one of them was about mid-sized. The other one was small. And you could tell they were tree arches. You described them the other day on your show, matter of fact. And the thing about it is one of the tree arches is right there where we camp out. I mean, it's right there. I've been back there I don't know how many times, and there's never been a tree arch there. Matter of fact, if you go about middle ways, and Old Bear, he's been there, he'll tell you about middle ways is when they really start. As you go toward the other end, it's an abundance of them back there. You go more toward where we camped out at that footprint, there's hardly any. I don't even, as far as being right close to where we camped out, there's none, really, to be honest with you, but there is now. I mean, there's one right beside it. So we knew that that's a fresh sign, and glad to see it. You know what I'm saying? I was real happy to, but I don't know about being so close to the campsite. You know what I mean? But anyways, we got to try out some equipment. We got to try out a new thermal that we had, set up my night vision. And the most important thing is I got this grill that I bought probably about a year or two ago and only used it one time, and it was just messing around. So we got to season up some cast iron and grill out some hamburgers, made some French fries, and I liked it. It was pretty good. So the grill ended up being a success. I liked that. I enjoyed that. But we couldn't wait for it to get dark. Let's see what happened during the night. As it got dark, we started using the thermal, and of course we're talking and everything else. And a deer jumped up, and I'll show it to you after a while when we get to talking about the equipment stuff. But a deer come up there and it laid down just right across from us. We backed in this little road there. It was just right across there, just not too far away. But it freaked us out at first because that was our first image of anything on this thermal. That's how new it was. And all you could see what looked like head and shoulders. Well, it turned out when the deer finally turned, you could see the snout. We knew it was a deer. We made enough racket to put its ears up. So that was a good experiment. And we did happen to see later on a raccoon. That was fun. I used a different part of the thermal to check it out. But anyways, the only thing that, as far as Bigfoot wise is concerned, guys, it was real windy. Not hurricane wind like what Mr. Richard went through, but it was real windy. So if anything was to try to sneak up on us, it wouldn't have been hard. So we never heard anything, no footsteps. More or less, acorns was falling all over the place. It was quite noisy during the night, to be honest with you. I mean, it was just going on all night long. But let's see, we had an owl come in, check on us. We heard it. And when we was doing the filming of the raccoon, I cut off the camera and I wanted to check on that raccoon again because it was kind of getting close to the front of my pickup. So when we cut it on, there it is. It's getting pretty close. So I decided that I'm going to try to get close to it and try to run it off a little bit so it don't mess around underneath my truck. We took about 2, maybe 3 steps. And at this time, it was me and James. Neil was getting him some rest. And we heard this real low growl, very low. And I scanned it about to the left of where the deer was at one time. We thought that deer was laying down, but that deer, it was laying down, but it got up and left, and I don't know why. But that growl kind of come from that direction, a little bit to the left of it, but it was very low, but it was loud enough that you could hear it. Now, I don't know what this growl was. I scanned. If it was a coyote or some kind of dog or anything like that, we would have picked it up, and you'll see what I'm talking about on the thermal. Now, I was told something, and I ain't gonna say nothing because I kind of got blessed out about it a little bit, but lesson learned. But anyways, we still can't figure out what that growl. I've talked to Richard. I've talked to several other people, and they've made their suggestions, but nothing definitive. And neither was the growl because I didn't record it. I had cut it off just about the time, and I wasn't recording when I heard this growl, and it was very, very close, or at least I thought it was close. We can't see nothing. So, but anyways, that was pretty much the extent as far as excitement, anything. And that's, we can't tell if anything was around. We're just curious. And the growl is suspect. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, it was a great trip. We had good time with the guys. The equipment worked out just great. It's fine. Testing out the grill was great. And just to be honest, getting out there and pretty much staying up all night long, it was hard to do by the time it got 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That was rough. But anyways, it was a good time. And I want to thank Neil and James for going with me. It was a blast, and they all want to do it again. So we'll try to do it again. Probably when it warms up. It's too cold. It's too cold right now. Anyways, so Richard, that's my update. Let's get on with what we came here for.
Well, my update is I'm supposed to be camping right now.
Mm-hmm.
But we had Hurricane Milton come through, and that changed everything. I still feel like I could have camped because the last couple I would have been started vacation yesterday. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable, gorgeous weather we're dealing with right now. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Low humidity. It's only in the mid 80s. Overnight lows are in the 60s. Last night was 57. Gorgeous. But the reason why I didn't cancel it so much as the park services shut down all the parks due to damage, and trees were down. And, you know, the problem is when you walk through the woods or you're hiking trails or whatever it is, you don't know what trees are weakened by the storm and may fall. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they're giving it some time to see if everything's kind of stabilized, everything's good to go. They're going to clear the trails and stuff. So I did reschedule. So next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I will be out there unless another storm comes. But the park's, yeah, hopefully. But the park's still not open. I got to call them, even though I renewed my reservations that they canceled. I put it in again. The office there is not open. They will not be in until Monday. They've been closed since the hurricane. It won't be in until Monday because they're out in the field clearing these trails. So I got to call them Monday just to verify, hey, am I good? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So hopefully it is, and I'll be out there and get back to normal. You know, this is the big event, one of the big events I do every year. where I'm out there doing the research every day, all day, and stuff like that. Other than taking my Baptist nap every day.
And by the way, guys, if he's able to, we are going to try to do some lives with him, and let you see what it's like to be out in the woods with Richard down there in Florida at night, and whatever else we can do. I look forward to that. I'm sure he will keep us updated. It's going to be just like a reporter on the scene. You know what I mean? And I'm right proud that Richard's going to allow me to be part of that. So we should have some fun there. But we'll kind of give you an update if that happens and let you know. But I hope so. So I look forward to it. But Richard, we're going to talk about equipment.
Right.
Equipment's a big deal, right?
Well, it's hard to do research without it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's and that's the thing is we'll go over a lot of equipment, most of the stuff that I use when I'm in the field, and just people got to keep in mind that we're self-funded. Everything that I'll talk about, and it's not even a quarter of it because this is the equipment you use for research, let alone equipment you use to camp. You got to have a tent, sleeping bags, a grill or whatever. You got to purchase charcoal, lighter fluid, blankets, all this stuff, portable John, if you're out there, whatever. I mean, it adds up. It really, really adds up, so, but tonight we'll just do the equipment, but nothing dealing with the camping and stuff like that. So,
and I said,
every year I upgrade something, like my tent started out in a small tent. Now I'm in a big tent. I'm in a 13 by 9. I'm in a 13 by 9 by myself, So,
I hate to tell you what I'm getting into. Money. Lord have mercy. Oh yeah. Money. But what we're trying to get at tonight is we're poor folks, and we're out here trying to film, document, or record, whether it be audio or video, and it's just for our own pleasure, basically, because you know how it's going to go. It don't matter what you show on these shows and stuff. People are going to scrutinize and dissect it and everything. And I don't care that they do mine at all.
Well, the thing is every researcher is a little bit different. Everybody has different pieces of equipment that they use or different techniques that they use and stuff like that. There's no right or wrong. It's just what do you have available? What are you doing and stuff like that? Because a lot of the equipment I can't use only for the fact is when I'm hiking, especially when people watch my channel on the weekly basis, when I go out on the weekends, I can't carry all this stuff. It's just impossible. So I have to nitpick and say, okay, I'm going to take this, this, and this, and that's all I'm taking today. Okay. Like I'll have people mention, oh, that was a great footprint you get. Did you cast it? No, I didn't cast it. And they get, oh, why didn't you? Blah, blah. Well, you got to understand is I got this backpack here. Just with the equipment I have right now, it's about 20 pounds. And that wears on me after about 3 or 4 hours of hiking. It wears on my shoulders. It wears on my lower back and stuff. Now I have to add casting material and at least a gallon of water. That's heavy. See what I'm saying? So when you do gear,
you need a pack mule.
Yeah.
You won't carry all that stuff.
Well, it helps if you go out with other people. That way each person in a perfect world, is if you had somebody that was, his job was video. Okay. He documents everything. That's what he's doing, is documenting everybody, everything, and what they're doing. Then you've got somebody who's strictly audio. He sets up audio equipment. He's going to be the one to review the audio. He's going to be the one dealing with that. You got one guy, he's carrying extra water, casting material, maybe some snacks or something when we're out there. See, everybody would have a job. Everybody would have, but the research, everybody's looking, everybody's watching, everybody's doing something. Probably everybody will have a camera on them at one shape or form or another. But yet, as far as packing stuff out, each person would handle the load. You know what I mean? So that's really important. It's really important. So people got to understand is a lot of times, not all the times, sometimes I'm out there with Jimmy or I'm out there with Jimmy and Bobby or whatever. But most of the time I'm by myself. So I have to be very particular. Like when I fly the drone, I don't take the drone in the woods with me. See what I'm saying? I will in the future, but not right now. but I do the drone to look at an area that I'm about to go into. So I can get an aerial view of what's going on. And then I pack it all up and I put it away. And then I take whatever I am going to use while I'm in the woods. So you got to plan. Planning is everything.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask a question just like everybody else has asked you, and you've even said it. What is if you only had one piece that you could carry, what piece would that be?
If somebody said, okay, you're going in the woods looking for a Bigfoot and you only take one thing, that's what you're asking? One thing.
Yep. One thing.
My cell phone. It does it all. I can do audio. I can do video. I can do everything on this. This is important, and everybody's got one. This one, I've got the S22 Ultra. When I bought it, this is literally probably the most expensive equipment I got. This is $1,200. Okay. So, but I bought this particular one because the camera is amazing. It will blow your mind. I've sent Icebox some pictures of the moon, and it looks like you're standing on it. You know what I mean? I've taken some great nature photos with this, where I'm zoomed in on a deer eating, and I'm actually 100 yards away from this deer. You know what I mean? So, a good, solid camera phone is the best thing you can go with. If you're only going out there with one thing, this is it. This is it. That's right. You got the Ultra too.
I got the Ultra 24. And I will tell you, I was going to save that, but that's all right. You stole my thunder. I think the most important piece is your camera. Mine has an excellent microphone on it.
Yes.
And the video quality is great. I could not believe the noises and sounds that I could hear just on my phone.
Well, there was a time where me and Jimmy and us were out in the field and we're walking, and it literally a lot of people have heard my past experiences, especially when I talk about that thud sound that was behind me when I was leaving the woods, where something was behind me walking. So we were out in the woods and I kept hearing that thud, and it scared me. I mean, it brought back a lot of memories. I was like, holy crap, do y'all hear that? Nobody could hear it. I'm like, how can you not hear that thud noise? So I put it on voice recorder and held it up. And when I got home and played it, I could hear it clear as day. Clear as day. It picked it up. You know what I mean? So yeah, the voice recorder on these things are amazing. Amazing. There's been times that I'll pull into a site, and I won't go into the woods until the sun comes up, because you don't know what you're going to walk into at night. When I get there pretty early in the morning, I'll take the voice recorder and sit it on the hood of my car while I'm in the car drinking my coffee or whatever. So if I catch something, a howl or whatever, I'll pick it up. You know what I mean? So it's really good. I really like the voice recorder. So, but I do have voice recorders that I do take out and leave in the woods. So,
okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna show my little piece. This is my Action 4. Basically, it's just a GoPro, if you want to call it that, but it is an Action 4. I think they're better. Now, the prices run the same, and that's why we're kind of doing this equipment show, is to kind of give you an idea of, how many times you've been asked, Richard, how much does it really cost to buy equipment? You know what I mean?
I do, and I get it a lot, and I tell people the same thing. They'll say, hey, Rick, what camera should I get, or what this should I get? And I'm like, listen, get what's in your budget. That's what I tell them. Don't break the bank doing this, okay? Because you're just going to kill yourself. I did the same thing. I shop around. I'll find something. If there's something I really like, take the time. So let's say it's a GoPro, and you're like, wow, I like this GoPro. Well, shop that GoPro then. Start comparing prices. Try to find somebody that might be having a sale or might be doing this. You can get stuff. I've gotten lucky on a couple of items where I got really, really cheap, and it's an expensive item. And sometimes eBay or Marketplace, people are selling something that they think is something else, like a home video camera, but you're thinking research, and they're selling it cheap because it's been sitting in the closet for 5 years and they're not using it, and it probably costed them $300-400 when they bought it, and they're selling it for $50. See what I'm saying? And it's still a very, very good camera. It's going to do exactly what you want it to do, but you're saving money. So I always encourage people, stay in your budget. Don't break your bank to buy something like a flare, for example. Flares can get up there into the upper thousands. I mean, they're very expensive pieces of equipment, but there's other night visions and other thermals and different things that do just as well of a job. They're just less expensive. See what I'm saying? It's like people talk about Android and iPhones because they own the market. You know what I mean? But if you do your research, you find out they're not even the two number one selling phones out there. There's another company that sells way more phones than Android and iPhone. We just don't sell them in the United States. See what I'm saying? Yeah. So you just got to shop around and look and find what works for you. Spencer's like 9mm. Yeah, absolutely, buddy. You know? Yep. I don't go out there without a pew pew. You know what I mean? You know, but I carry every day. That's part of my job at work. So I gotta carry all the time. So
yeah. And I done a suggestion that, or I took a suggestion from Richard when I first started doing this. Yeah, I got an action camera. I got it because I studied the GoPro and the action, where the action does a little bit better. You know, when you film it, you get the fisheye, right, and it makes a straight tree will look bent. This one here is not near as bad. I mean, doesn't do it very little, not near as much as the GoPro.
Well, like the same thing. Like this is one of my favorite things. This right here is a Bob Love camera. Very inexpensive, $150. It has a lot of features on it. Some features I don't even use, but it does have night vision. And this, what I have it on, this thing that you see right here I'm holding on to, is I use this on my vest. So it comes off. This goes on the inside. This goes on the outside, and it magnets. So I can move and stuff like that. So what I do is when I go camping, I take it with me and I magnet to my tent. So when I'm sleeping at night, this is above the door of my tent looking out into my camping area. So if anything comes into my camp, I'll catch it on this. And it has a remote. So I don't have to run it all the time. But if I hear something, I click the remote, boom, the thing starts recording. They don't even know. There's many times I'm talking to somebody. It might be an intense situation, and I keep the remote in my pocket. So as I approach them, I've already turned it on. As I approach them, they don't know the camera's on. See what I'm saying? So this is really good, and I like the magnet thing for my vest. Like I said, I put this on the back of my backpack, so it records behind me when I'm hiking and stuff like that.
In case you miss it.
And it doesn't have an SD card. You just plug it right into your computer, download. And it will record nonstop for 30 minutes and then start again for 30 minutes. So when I download it, it's in 30-minute videos. See what I'm saying? So it's really cool. And like I said, this thing ranges anywhere from $100 to $200. Okay. There's different models, different kinds. I like this one. This one I like because of the remote control. They do have the ones where you just hit the button on the front and it starts recording. I got the remote because I'm going to be inside my tent and I want to be able to do it from my bed. You know what I mean? So I really like this a lot. Like I said, I think the camera is $150, and then the thing I put it on, which it detaches. I can take it right off very easily. And this costs about $35.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Yep. Richard suggested that I get something, and I did. I got a strap, which is a lot more cumbersome than what he's got there. So if you can follow that route, I would go that route. But as far as a GoPro, this was the thing for me. I could put it over my chest, put my GoPro up there or my Action 4 and walk around and film all I want to. And I can set it in increments too, but it will continuously record as far as I want to go with it. And I like that because I can take my other equipment and scan around with it if I want to. I like that part.
Well, and like this now, like I said, now any of the equipment any of the equipment that we discussed tonight, they all have their pluses and they all have their downfalls. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They all do. There is none of this equipment is a tell all, do all. This is it. This is the holy grail of equipment. It's not really. Out of all of it, the phone is really the holy grail because it does so much more. But with like this, I used to wear it on my chest when I'm in the woods, but I wear binoculars, and sometimes the binoculars would lay in front of the camera. See what I'm saying? So I'd have to be aware when I'm doing something that I'm not interfering with the vision of the camera. So now I use it for other things like my tent or my backpack or something where it's not interfered with at all. So
yeah, let me give people a heads up on that. And this is a lesson learned. I've got a night vision and had my Action 4 going at the same time. You got to be careful of that because if they get close to one another, they will interfere.
Yeah,
they will interfere. So you got to pick and choose which one do you want.
Yeah, let me take a moment here and just let you know who's in. Because, hey, by the way, those of you that just came in, Icebox cannot see the chat for some reason, but I can. So if he doesn't call you out or anything, because he's really good about that, it's only because he can't see it. So I'll throw in every once in a while. Like right now, we've got Josh Inslee, Old Bear, Flat Rock. They've all joined in. So those are some other names that have joined the chat and stuff like that. So just let y'all know if you have a question, I'll see it and I'll answer it. And I'll stop, Icebox and say, hey, somebody's got a question. Let's answer their question. It's just one of those flukes when you go live and it happens and he can't see the chat. And for some reason, as the guest, I can see the chat. So
the last time you was on, you couldn't, but I could. This is the first time I've never been able to see the chat. I wish Flat Rock, if you don't care, man, you can type in or whatever you want to do. That he does a lot of audio, and I love his audio. I don't know what equipment he uses, but that would be interesting to know.
Well, let's talk audio. You know what I mean?
Well, before we move on, I did get an email or a text, and I'm gonna let you answer this, and then I'll tell you what I think. Spencer, please let me know the meaning of a small tree bent over when y'all were in the woods. What does that mean to you? I know what he's referring to, the tree arches. What does that mean to you?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know. We see arches. I've come across some amazing arches. I'm talking trees that are, I don't know, 30 feet tall and not just bent over. They're almost up and down. I mean, just very tight arches. Now, when I see an arch, I will go check it out. Not all arches are spectacular. They're not. Some are natural. I'm looking for specific things when I'm looking for an arch. How is it held down? You know what I mean? Is like this one I found, it was shoved into the ground. The head of it was shoved into the ground, the top of the tree. Or I'll find something where something is laid down on the top of the tree. See what I'm saying? So that tells me, okay, this is purposefully done. Okay. And some of them, they're natural. I can look at them and say, okay, that's natural. Or it was new at some point, but it's old now and branches are already starting to grow out the top of the arch to get sunlight. So those I have to dismiss. You know what I mean? But I'll find things where you have a tree, and then the arch back here winds through the trees and arches.
Got one of those. Yep.
How is that possible? See what I'm saying? How is that possible? And especially when all the trees are the same size, why didn't they all bend over if it was the wind or anything like that? So, Richard's experience, so taking an educated guess, you cannot be wrong. Yeah. Well, I won't. Old Bear says, Richard, you're experienced, so take an educated guess, you cannot be wrong. I try not to, because I don't call anything a definitive ever. I let the people look at the evidence and determine what they think it is. I like to produce the evidence and show the evidence and say, hey, look, this is what I found. I'll walk around it. I'll show them different angles and stuff like that. Now, one of the things I have found with arches that is piques my curiosity is they're always near a game trail. Either there's a game trail running right beside it or a game trail running right through it. There's always a game trail nearby. So is that significant? Quite possibly. But I don't know. See what I'm saying? Could it be a marker saying, hey, go in this direction? We have found arches where we'll stand at an arch, me and Jimmy, and then we'll glass the area with binoculars and we'll see another arch. We'll go to that arch, check it out, glass again, there's another arch. So it's kind of like a path. See what I'm saying? So is there significance to it? Don't know. See what I'm saying? But it's very interesting. And that's what I look for is what piques my curiosity. See what I'm saying? I found an arch. Huh?
What I look for, why is it there? Not only that, but I look for oddities in the woods. Why is it done this way or done that way?
Right.
You know, we took old Bear out and we found an arch, or he did, and I always dismissed it. I knew it was there, but I dismissed it because it looked like it was just halfway. It wasn't down to the ground. It wasn't being held down at the ground. So I didn't pay no attention to it.
Well, I usually dismiss those too because it's either old, it's rotting, or it's pulled back up. To me, I missed the opportunity when it was down. See what I'm saying?
I'm the same way. But until he said something, look at that one particular tree, that's the one that was shoved in the ground. And it was basically, as it was starting to bend, there was a tree here, and it pinned it to the tree.
Right.
It curved on around and it weaved through a couple trees all the way over to the other side. And at the other side had another tree pinning it down. Right. And had he not shown me that that tree that was shoved into the ground, I would have never gave it another thought.
Right.
You know, and until you see that, then you can only tell because it doesn't have no root balls and it's not trunked out like a tree does.
Well, most of the arches I find,
it's placed there.
Most of the arches I find is a live tree. It's not eroded. It's just arched. See what I'm saying? Like
most of them are live.
You know, I've tried to reenact it. I'm talking trees only about this big around. Pine trees about this big around. Now, a pine tree about this big around could be 20 feet tall. They're very thin, very tall trees. I'm not a little guy. You know what I mean? I'm not a big guy, but I'm not a little guy. I'm 5'10", 215 pounds. And I'll reach up and grab this thing and try to pull that tree down. I can't do it. I would have to climb the tree, which I'm not going to do at 55 years old, and try to swing it down to the point where my weight might help me come down, but I take the risk of falling or it's snapping on me. So I don't ever try that. So it's definitely weird. And the thing is, I find it in pine trees and pine trees only. And I think that's because they're very flexible. Okay. A lot of people don't realize with pine trees is a pine tree's roots go deep. They go straight down and they're as long down as they are tall. See what I'm saying? So if you've got a 40-foot pine tree, well, you got 40-foot roots. So when you see a down pine tree, it ripped those roots. It broke those roots when it fell. See what I'm saying? But I think they're used more because of the fact that they're flexible. You know what I mean? And almost every state has some kind of pine tree. You know what I mean? Florida's not really well known for hardwoods like oaks and stuff like that. We have them, and I love finding areas where I'm nothing but oaks are around me. But it's mostly pine. We have a lot of pine, which also makes footprints hard to find because all the pine needles on the ground. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's spongy. So you're not going to find prints and stuff like that. So when we go in those areas, prints are not even on our radar. We're looking for other things because prints are going to be next to impossible to find. So
and the indicators.
It has to be very, and those are the prints. And to be honest with you, because everybody knows me, I'm honest. I'll tell you like it is. I'll tell you how I see it. If I'm in a pine forest and the leaf cover is nothing but pine needles, and then somebody sends me a picture of that kind of area, and then there's a spot, it's a footprint, and there's no pine needles in the footprint, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. There's no way a foot stepped and lifted up all those pine needles with its foot and left a footprint there. See what I'm saying? Footprints are very, very difficult to find in a pine forest. Very difficult.
Well, I will give you my assessment of the tree arches. Then we'll move on to the next piece of equipment. Tree arches, to me, depending on what is found, it could be a marker, it could be a boundary, it could be all kinds of sorts of things. It could be telling you a trail to the next, like you said, the next arch, and it's leading you somewhere. That's basically all the meaning of a tree arch is just it could be a marker. Don't go past this or go this way. Once you learn how to read them a little bit, you'll kind of
Right.
understand.
Well,
You know,
and I tell people all the time is our interpretation of what it is may
could be
not be what
different.
it is to them at all. I use the swastika not to sound racist because
Yeah.
we know the history of the swastika. But if you look at the history of the swastika, it goes all the way back to Egyptian times. Okay,
Hmm.
that symbol was an Egyptian sign. It meant something different to them than it did the Nazis. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Sure.
it's like, for example, when I spent a lot of time overseas. I've been to 13 different countries, and there was a country that you didn't wave. That was offensive. You
Hmm.
did this. You had to move your hand and move your fingers like this. This is waving at somebody. You couldn't do this. Okay, that was offensive. Kind of like shooting a bird. See what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So our interpretation of what it is just our interpretation. We're just trying to make sense of it to us.
Yes, we're trying to
But
make
it
sense
doesn't
of it.
necessarily mean that's what it is. We don't know until a
Mhm.
Sasquatch walks out of the wood and says, "Hey, didn't you see my sign that says don't enter?" You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
We
Pull
don't
you
know.
over. You went past the stop sign. I'm pulling you over.
Right. But I believe it's a sign. I believe it means something to them. I don't
Yeah.
think it's there for our purpose. I
No,
don't
no,
think it's
it's
there for
not.
our purpose. I think it's for
Mm-mm.
their purpose and their purpose only. I personally think they don't really give a crap about us. We're just an annoyance or entertainment. Other than
Hmm.
that, I think whatever they do, it's for them so they can communicate or they can do whatever or mark a hunting area or a bedding area or whatever. We don't know. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
So
all assumptions on us.
it
All right.
is. It's all theories, and there's no wrong theory and there's no right theory. There's no experts in this field. We're all speculating. We're all guessing. We're all trying to make the best of what information that we have. See what I'm
All right.
saying?
Yeah, I hope that answers this question. All right. Let's move on to one of our new toys.
Oh, you want to
Mm-hmm.
jump right into that stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
let me do audio real quick because
Okay.
we were talking about audio.
Yep.
This is what I use. Okay. And I got lucky on this. This is my digital auto recorder. With brand new batteries, this thing will run forever. I've put this out for 4 days. 4 days. And when I went and got it, it still had battery life. And I've got it hooked up to a mic to prevent wind noise and stuff like that. Um, I do little things like this. This is off of an iPad. Okay. It's a strap for an iPad. It's in my way on my iPad. So I take them off. Well, I can find use for little things like this. So I can take this, hook it to my backpack, and then it has a snap here, and boom, I disconnect it. See what I'm saying? Without having it untied, I just pop it off. And I can take this and hook it to a tree, and then I can put this anywhere on that tree to get
Mm.
the best audio. See what I'm saying? And like I said, the only bad thing about audio, and audio is great, but the hard part is determining what it is you're actually hearing. You can't determine distance. You know it's close or it's far, but you really don't know the distance.
Mm.
And two, if you record 36 hours of audio, you got to listen to 36 hours of audio. And
Exactly.
that's time consuming. Unless you've got a really good program and all that, which I do not. I don't. My hands are so much. I got my hands in so many things right now with Bigfoot, downloading more programs and this and that. I do look at some. Randy Harrington has recommended that I look at what is it called? Audio something. But anyhow, it's an audio program that you can put it in, and then it shows the lines of sound, so you can just go directly to that and listen. See what I'm saying? Like a sound
Hmm.
wave, but it's lines. Johnny Two Bears with Sasquatch Encounter Brigade. He has a great program. He's really into audio. So if I
Yep.
ever have anything that's audio, I'm sending it to Johnny. Say, Johnny, could you check this out and tell me what you think and stuff like that. So that's the only downfall of audio. Again, none of these are the magic wand. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Audio has its downside, which is time. It's time consuming with audio. So, all right. So you want to get into night vision?
Yep.
Okay. So let's start off. I'm going to get to what you're talking about. This is, oops, wrong one. This is, they look the same. This is a psionics. This is a Psionics Black. I really, really like this thing a lot. It's a monocular. It's got great night vision. It records sound. It takes pictures. It does everything. This thing is fabulous. But this will run you about $800. Okay. I got lucky, and my good old buddy Johnny was upgrading to a lot more expensive gear, and he sold me this for $250. Okay. So deals are out there. Okay. Deals are out there. So I got this for $250. I do love it. I really, really like the Psionics. I like small. Anything I can put in a backpack or carry without putting a lot of weight on me, that's always key to me. Can I pack that? That's always I tell myself, oh, that's a nice piece of equipment, but can I pack it? See what I'm saying? This I can easily put in my pocket, or I can put it in my backpack or whatever. See what I'm saying? So I really do like the Psionics.
Now, when you get tired of that, I'll give you $100 for it.
So again, this is where this is how me and you met. We met through this piece of equipment. This is how we met, because we both had watched the same video on this piece of equipment, and I was impressed with the video, and I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. So I started doing my deep dive. Guys, when you're researching equipment, watch as many videos on that piece of equipment as you can before you make the determination to buy it. And that's what I did. So I got this. This is the Akaso Seymour 200. I love this thing. That's the screen I'm looking at. It looks like binoculars, but this is a screen I'm actually looking at right there. It is huge. I hold it this far from my face.
I do too.
So I can look around and look at the screen. It's huge. Okay. I like it because it has two modes. One is color mode at night, which is amazing. I can literally, Tommy could be 200 yards away, and I can tell you what color shirt he's wearing, what color socks he's wearing, what color underwear he's wearing, depending on his mood.
And I will be glad to show you.
And and it has no IR. It uses AI technology, which is
that's right. But now you need to clarify on that you do need to have some source of light.
Well, if like this week was a perfect week for me to be camping because we have a full moon, I wouldn't need anything. This thing would take all that. It's almost daylight outside. The moon is so bright right now. So this thing would have been fantastic on color mode. But if you have overcast skies, it's dark, stuff like that, you can switch it over to IR mode. That is fantastic. You never do without night vision with this thing. And the great thing is the very first night vision mode still doesn't use IR. Okay. The number 0, that one doesn't use IR. Then you get into 7 different modes that actually use IR. Now, again, like you said, and added, let me find that here. Where did I do with that? Oh, right here. This is an IR flashlight. So if I need this, it's on right now. See, you can see it on the screen. It's invisible to me. I can't see it at all. You can see it. That's why we don't like to use IR, because we think the Sasquatch can see it. Like right now, I wouldn't be able to see it, but the camera picks it up. Okay. But I'll use this when I'm looking and hold it above my Psionics or this to give me more light that I can't see, the people around me can't see, but it lights up everything on night vision. This thing records. It records video. It records pictures. It records sound. And it also has a fantastic zoom. I mean, this thing can zoom in really far. I think it's 1,650 feet or something like that. It's pretty amazing piece of equipment. $208 is what I paid for.
Exactly. Yeah.
That included 2 batteries, which are amazing in themselves because each battery lasts 4 hours. Yeah. So if you got 2 fully charged batteries, you can be out in the woods for 8 hours at night recording if you wanted to. Okay. Yep. So it came with this, 2 batteries, an SD card, and a charger. $208.
Yep.
Can't beat it. See what I'm saying? There's deals out there. You don't have to break the bank and kill yourself to get these things. So,
and he's right. That's actually how me and Richard met. He was asking somebody else a question about it that was doing a a demo of it, and I happened to see him. And when he said that, I texted Richard, and from then on, here we are.
Here we are. You know,
Right.
all of a sudden, you called me and said, "Hey, can you be on my show?" And there we are.
Yep. You know I mean? Boy, that was the worst phone call I ever made.
Yeah, I'm like an Indian telemarketer, man. You know, I'm like a German cockroach in your house. You ain't getting rid of me.
All right. Well, before we go on into the next important piece, I want your opinion on parabolics. I don't have it. I wish I did, but I don't.
That's what I do have a parabolic, and I forgot to take that out of my car.
Shame.
I really like parabolic. They're very expensive. If you want high quality. Now, the one I have, you see them all the time on Amazon, stuff like a little handheld one. I bought one of those, and it worked fine. We did a test on it. We had Jimmy. He was probably about 100 yards out. He took a little branch and he snapped it. I heard it clear as day. Okay. And you can hook up your digital recorder to it so it can record directly to your digital recorder. So if you're out there doing your parabolic, you can actually record everything so you can go back and listen to it later. So those little cheap ones aren't that bad. Now, what I did do by accident, and this is one of the times I was out with Carrie Arnold, I walked up this beam one day and it has a really big slope on the other side. So I thought I'd go down there and to the flat land and check things out. And I fell and I rolled down that hill, completely destroyed the parabolic. So when I bought it, it was only $50. But when I bought another one, I upgraded. They now have one that has an SD card and records for like 12 hours or something, some ungodly amount of time on an SD card. I have not used it since I bought it, but I always keep it in the car. You know what I mean? It's ready to go. Like I said, I just got so much equipment. I have to pick and choose what I'm going to use. See what I'm saying? If I was out with a group, 3 or 4 guys, and we're out there doing research at night, I would probably break out the parabolic. But it's one of those things that it is bulky, and the what you call the cover on the front, the plastic dome thing on the front. I found out the hard way I can break it. So
yeah, all right. I'm gonna say this much. I don't know about Richard, and parabolics is totally different. But I'm gonna tell you once again, this phone is fantastic on picking up noises. I think it's a Samsung LG. Oh no, it's LG 24 is what it is. LG 24 right now has got a great microphone. Now it's not a parabolic mic, but it still does a great job.
Yeah.
All right. My favorite.
Now, like Johnny spent, I want to say it was High Check that builds it. One of those, somebody might be able to remind me. But anyhow, he builds these parabolics at home, and they're supposed to be really good. And Johnny bought one. They run about $700 though. So, but it's
well,
really
another one that I've heard that's done pretty good, or is supposed to be pretty good, is Robert Crowder, and I think he's got them on sale for about $6. Yeah, parabolics is going to cost you.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to thermals. I know everybody wants to hear about this.
Okay, what do I do with mine? Now, with thermals are very expensive. I am a big fan of thermals. I think that is the direction to go. Night vision is great, but it's only vision. At night vision, I can still hide behind a bush and you can't see me. I can hide behind a tree and you can't see me. So they're great for being able to see at night, but anybody or any creature has the capability of hiding from you. They can crouch down or whatever. Where thermal, they can't hide their thermal signature. Even if they hide behind a tree and they peek out, you're going to see it. If they touch a tree and move on to another tree, you're going to see the heat signature on the tree. So I'm a big fan of thermal, very, very big fan of thermal. So I got into that mode where it's like, okay, I need to now get a thermal. So I started shopping around, looking around and stuff like that. Matter of fact, this is a piece of equipment I had talked to Kerry about because he knows a lot about the technical part of thermal. And I had 2 of them I was looking at, and I didn't understand the numbers. And he said, just go with the bigger one. It's more pixelation. It's more this, more that. Go with that. So I did. So I got this one. Okay. It's $500, and it came with 2 batteries, which is fantastic. 2 batteries. It's got a 3-inch screen. I avoid night vision or night blindness because I can hold it in front of me and still look around. So, so I never lose my night vision. This thing records like 200 and something thousand pictures. So I can take 200 and something thousand pictures in the memory of this thing. It also records video and stuff like that. The downfalls, okay. Like I said, I'm a big fan of thermal. The thing is with this thermal camera, I don't know about other thermals, but with this particular thermal camera is distance. So a prime example was me and Murray DeMont with a Mid-Florida Bigfoot research group. We're out in the woods, and I saw something ahead on the trail, and it was bright. Whatever it was bright. It was about waist high, and it was right on the edge of the trail, and it looked like something was crouched down, So we started walking towards it, and I'm looking at it the whole time. And according to this, it looked like it was about 50 yards away from me. But when I popped my head up and finally hit the flashlight, it was probably 20 feet from me. See what I'm saying? So distance is different on this. So if it was a Sasquatch, I was about to get really close and personal with the thing. Thinking that I was at a safe distance. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's one of the downfalls. 2, but it has a great picture. I've shown it in past videos where I've used it at nighttime. Great stuff. I download it. It doesn't have an SD card. I can plug this right to my computer and download all the information really easily. The other downfall with thermal is there's no sound. There's no sound. So when when I'm recording with this, I can talk, I can do whatever. You're not gonna pick up anything. So if I see something and I'm talking, I've got to go back and put that audio in, like a talk over video, because it does not record sound. I don't know how difficult it would be to come out with a model with a microphone. I don't know, but that's one of the downfalls of this is, now what I want to do is I've already put it away, but I want to put something here on the top of this and then mount the night vision right on top of it. And have them both on and recording at the same time. So I'm doing thermal and night vision at the exact same time. So that's my next thing I'm working on. So
all right, I'm going to show mine. This one right here. All that is a little gadget that you can hold it in your hand. Okay, right here is where my camera goes. This, I'm going to just show you. That's my thermal camera. That's it. Okay. Now, the reason I show it to you is because I can record sound, I record video, and all it does is it hooks up to the back end of my phone. Okay. Now I use, and that's all you got to have. Now, of course, I use a hard shell phone. So what I do is I'll hook it up right there. It goes in there. It's got a little C plus cord. And what I'll do is you got a little wire. Let me see if I can show that wire. And what it does, it hooks up to the camera itself, which turns around, and I put my phone here. So now I got thermal, I've got sound, and everything else. This little piece, $400.
Yeah.
You would think it was expensive, but for what the capabilities of it are, it's fantastic. And plus, like I said, you can record sound. And it's already downloaded to your phone.
Right.
You can just hit record, and there you go. Well, when I'm thinking about it, I'm going to try to show just a little bit of video of what it does that I've had on the camp out. So let me see if I can find the one I want. See if it'll show. Let me cut this light off. All right, if you can see that, I know the other thing is trying to show. That right there is the green vision of a deer. And you can hear the sound coming off the phone. Okay, that deer wasn't that far away from us. But you see how bright and green, you can see the ears popping up and all that. That was recorded with that little thing here.
Yeah.
Keep it long.
Yeah, like I said, is you got to find what works for you. What everybody's different. Just because we use this doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You may use something else or somebody else. It's just what works for you, what's convenient. See what I'm saying? I try to find what's easy because I'm not the most technical savvy guy. I'm pretty good, but I'm not that great. But like I said, that's great because it has its own handle and it's small and you can pack it. Packing is really important, being able to pack it out. So
glasses. That's why I like the one with the phone. That's why you like the one with the 3-inch screen. That's why we like the night vision. We have to have glasses. And even though we're going to get reflection off of our glasses, to us, it's better than nothing.
Right.
We got the widescreen. We can see and hopefully not ruin our night vision. But that's something that we took into account in what we got. Monoculars and binoculars, they're great also. They've got them out there. They're expensive. I'm going to tell you, cheapest one I could find on monocular was like $700.
Right. Like I said, with the Psionics, its downfall, because it does a lot, is the fact that I do have to have it against my eye. So I will lose sight in that eye. When I put this camera away, I have to shut that eye just so I can see what's going on because it just destroys your vision. That's the downside of a monocular and having it up against your eye. That's why I really, really like that C-More, because I can hold it away from me and I'm looking above it. See what I'm saying? I'm just glancing down at the screen. You know what I mean? I'm not staring at the screen. So it really works out really good.
By the way, hello, Steve. I seen you. Somebody texted me that you were in the chat. Steve is with Misfits, I believe it was. I can't remember right now. But hey, Steve, how you doing? Hello, Henry. Seen your name on the text too. So Rick ain't doing too good a job.
Yeah, one of the things Henry just said was you should mount your rigs to a hiking staff. Your arm will get shaky after a bit. Well,
he's right.
We've actually looked into that. But you have to have something that will stabilize because moving and stuff, it's all over the place. And people back in the day when I first started, that was one of the complaints was like, God, man, you're making me seasick watching your videos. And because I needed stabilizer. So that's when I bought this. This is an Osmo. Okay. My phone hooks to it and it moves. It always stays planted. So if I'm moving, the camera stays just like that.
Is it gimbal?
Just like that. You know what I mean? And I can control the camera and everything with my thumb. I can move the camera. It even has its own tripod, so I can put it down and it'll follow me. It has follow me mode and stuff. So I'm walking through the woods. That's why you see a lot of things. It's very stable because somebody said, "Hey, you need to get something to stabilize that." So I ended up getting an Osmo. This thing is fantastic. I got this for $100 off of Amazon. You can probably now get them for like $70-something. Okay. I forgot the exact name of it, but you can see it. It's really cool, but it's made by DJI, which also makes drones. So its stabilization is really, really good. So this is my Osmo. This is one of the first things I bought when I started doing the YouTube channel to help stabilize some of my film and stuff like that. The great thing about our phones, built-in stabilizer, built in. Okay. So you could put this thing on, let me see if I got one here. Yeah. I got everything tangled up now.
Yeah, we don't need no shaky Bigfoot pictures, do we?
Selfie stick. Simple selfie stick.
Got one of those.
I use this. It extends out so I can look over something or put it out far from me and stuff like that. It does not have a stabilizer, but my phone does. So this thing works out fantastic. It's easy to put in my pocket. It's lightweight. Doesn't take up any room. Selfie stick is always a way to go. Very cheap. I got this selfie stick at you ever heard of the store Five and Below?
Sure.
$5 for this. $5. You break it, go buy another one. Not a big deal. You lose it, go buy another one. See what I'm saying? I really like this. I really do.
Well, I think my Osmos come with a selfie stick and all that kind of stuff, and I got
Yeah.
plenty of others, stuff like that. Now I think Henry might be referring, because I don't know, I can't see the chat. That when I filmed this one, it was shaky,
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest with you, I could hold it still enough. I was just kind of curious to see what it was, but yeah, he's right. You do want some stabilization there, and it was using my phone. It's just me. It was late at night, kind of
Right.
cool, but not too bad. But anyways, all right. Before we end up having to leave out of here, I want to hear about the most important piece or the latest piece of your arsenal.
My drone.
Yes.
That's my drone. I've been, when you're in this field, you meet a lot of people and you connect and you talk and you start sharing ideas and theories and stuff. And throughout my time, I've got to meet some amazing, amazing people.
I have too.
One of them is Randy Harrington, fantastic guy. Love shooting a breeze with him. Great guy. We bounce things off our heads. And he has an amazing drone. I mean, the drone's like $20,000. It has thermal, it has night vision and all that. Well, I can't afford 20 grand. But then I'm friends with Miguel Ramirez with Sasquatch Theory. Fantastic guy, great kid. We got to talking about drones. So I got this one. So you have it, you can see it.
Now, I've seen the footage off of this. Guys, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I always thought that a drone it's not the tell-all. I mean, it's something that'll investigate an area that I can't get into. Let's say there's a body of water or a canal separating me from where I want to go. I can launch the drone, fly over there, look around, see what I see if it's worth trying to go over there or whatever.
How much trouble you'll have getting over there?
Right. And I've used it to go ahead of me on trails, keep it about 200-300 yards ahead of me, about 6 feet off the ground, and just cruising the trails. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It connects to your phone. It records. Everything is there. I can record it directly to my phone, or I can use the SD card that's on the aircraft itself and download the footage and stuff like that. Downfall of drones. Battery life is not good. If anybody thinks about getting a drone, try to get as many batteries as you can. I have 3 batteries. Each one gives me about 25 minutes of flight time. Okay. So that's why you don't see a lot of footage, because the batteries drain fairly quickly. So, and I've got better things to do than sit there and fly all day. So, this one, I got it with, I probably total with everything under $600. Mm-hmm. And that I had to buy everything separate. I bought a package deal where it came with the drone, the controller, and 1 battery. But then I bought 2 other batteries. So I had 3, and they were $50 a piece. And then I had to buy the case that was for it, because it didn't come with a case. And that case cost me like another $40 or something like that, So I'm under $600 for the whole thing. I think $300 for the drone package, and then start adding little things. I bought a landing strip so it can land. So if I'm someplace where the grass is high, I don't want to land it in high grass and I'll get wound up in the blades. Mm-hmm. So I bought a landing strip that folds up. It's lightweight, kind of like the screens in your car window. It just folds up, and I can unfold it in a second and throw it on the ground. And now I have a place to land without it getting tangled up or anything like that. So you start buying little things to make things a little bit better and stuff like that, But that's
Are you up there with a little flashlight?
Yeah. Now, talking on drones, here's the important thing. If anybody says, hey, I want to get a drone and use it for research, here's the thing with drones. Do your homework. I'm telling you right now, do your homework. I'm glad I did my homework. My best advice I can tell anybody, get a drone that's under 250 milligrams. Okay. They're small drones. Mine's a small drone, does everything I need to do, 4K, everything. The reason why is if you go above 250 grams, you now have to go get a license from the FAA to fly that drone. Okay. Mm-hmm. And it's a very, very hard test to take, and it costs money. It's such a hard test that it's really geared towards actual plane pilots. Okay. Mm-hmm. But they expect drone pilots to also take this test. And there's courses out there that you take the course to teach you to pass the exam. See what I'm saying? All that costs money. Okay. 2, if you're going to use drone on your YouTube channel, you cannot monetize your channel, period. If you monetize your channel, you're going to get fined a 6-figure amount from the FAA. 2, YouTube's probably going to take those videos off your channel. Okay. That's one of the key things, because if you make any money from drone footage, I don't care if you're filming a wedding or a football game or whatever, and you get paid for it, you are now a commercial pilot and you don't have a license for it, and they're going to fine you. And if you think you're going to get away with it, there are trolls out there that do nothing but watch these channels, and they call the FAA and say, hey, this guy's doing drone footage and I don't think he has a license. Well, all of a sudden the FAA is going to get in contact with you. See what I'm saying? I've got a drone. It's under 200. It's actually 240 grams. So I don't need that. I only had to take a test called I think it was called the truth test or something like that, which is mandatory. It's free. It's a free test. You take it online and it prints out, you get a certificate saying you've taken this class. It's cheap. It's very quick. I didn't even read the stuff. I just took the test and aced it. It's a very easy test. You have to have that, and it's free. Okay. Now the license to fly is only like $5. It's just the cost of taking the test and everything. So when you apply for your license for the FAA, it's only $5 a year or something like that. You know what I mean? But you have to have it if you're going to commercialize anything. If it is not for enjoyment purposes only, if it's for anything other than that, the FAA is going to fine you for it. And I trust me, I've watched videos on channels, and they talk about the horror stories of them doing that and not getting licensed, and they got nailed big time. We're talking, none of them were under 6 figures. It's $100,000 or more of a fine for you accepting money. So if your videos are making money off YouTube, even if it's $35 a year, you're getting paid. They don't classify how much money you got paid. You're now a commercial pilot, and you have to have this license.
And don't you have to be careful of what you film also? You can't film people, if I remember right.
You can film people. The rule is you cannot fly over people, on top of people, and you can't fly over moving vehicles. So if you're at the beach, you can fly it out to the ocean and turn it around to show the beach and stuff, but there can't be anybody between you and the drone. You also have to fly it where you have to always have visual contact of your drone. Okay. You're also limited. You can only go 400 feet up. After, you can't go above 400 feet, but that's 400 feet from wherever you're at. So if you're on the top of a mountain, you can still go 400 feet. See what I'm saying? It's just where you're at. If you're allowed to go over 400 feet to avoid an obstacle like a building, but you have to come back down on the other side and get back to a reasonable height and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Things that people need to know if they're going to try to use it to a drone.
And the larger drones, you have to get a RID chip or RID thing that goes on the drone that you register with the FAA. So when you fly that drone, they can monitor where you're at and what you're doing with that drone. They can determine if you're flying in an area that you're allowed to fly in. There is a app called Autopilot, I think it's called. It's a free app, and it's a map. It's like MapQuest, and you just touch the area that you're at, and it will tell you if you can fly in that area or not.
Okay. All right. But yeah, that's about all we got tonight, ain't it?
Yeah. I mean, other equipment that is also important is, tripods, different tripods. I have big ones. I have small ones. I like this one a lot because the legs on it are short and they're flexible. I can wrap this thing around a tree branch and film from a tree or something like that. Binoculars are very important. I have 2 sets. This one I like a lot. These are Simmons. I was a big hunter back in the day, and I love Simmons scopes. This is a Simmons. This thing costs about $25 at Walmart. And you can also go with, let me see if I can find it here. A smaller pair. This is what I keep in my pocket. If I don't want to lug this around, which is a little bit heavier, I can carry these small ones in my pocket, and it doesn't take up a lot of room and stuff like that. Flashlights. I have I can't tell you how many different types of flashlights I have and, different things. I encourage whatever lights you get, always rechargeable. Don't get anything battery because you're going to use them up. I have even little lights like this, little tiny lights like this. You know what I mean? There's one in particular, this one. Everybody mentions this for some reason. So when I'm in the woods and they see this on my shoulder, and they're always asking me, is that a camera? Or you have a camera on your shoulder? It's not. It's a light. It's a light, and it's rechargeable. And this thing is like 11,000 lumens, this little thing right here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I use it as an emergency light because I have gotten myself in some bad situations where I ended up being out there way too long and I got lost and I thought I was going to spend a night in the woods. So this thing has flashing, it has red, it has all these things. So if I'm lost out there and they're trying to find me, this thing is super bright and I can make it flash so people will see it, Very important.
Bigfoot know where to find you.
Yep.
All right, but well, it's time for us to get off here. We've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. Time flies when you're having fun, bud.
Another important, gotta have this, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We forgot.
Gotta have that. That's very important. Better have a measuring tape. Don't sit there and say it's a 20-inch print, but you have no way to prove it. You know what I mean?
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying a word. Yep. Hey, rookie mistakes, man. That's all I'm going to say. But all of this is good information for anybody that's wanting to try to start out or curious or interested in trying to do some of this kind of stuff. You don't have to have $1 million or take a loan out from the bank to get started. What if I ain't even done this hardly a whole year, have a Richard?
No.
And I've already got thermal, action camera, night vision, your stands, your tripods, not to mention stuff to run this show,
Well, like I said, when you add all your camping equipment, coolers, ice, food, charcoal, sleeping bag, all this stuff, it gets expensive. It gets really expensive.
But it also makes your camp outs very interesting.
Yeah. And you can shop around. I got a 13x9 tent that sets up in 60 seconds. I could put this tent up really fast. People, when I go camping, they're like, holy crap, you're done already? It's a huge tent for one man.
Yeah.
I paid $75 for that tent on Marketplace. It's a $300 tent. Somebody didn't use it anymore and said, hey, I'm selling it. I got it for $75. Deals are out there. Don't kill yourself. Don't break the bank to get this stuff. Don't do it because you're not getting paid for this. You're not getting paid for this. As much as I would like it to have a sponsor, I'm just saying.
That's okay. It's all backwards. I ain't gonna know who it is.
But we're paying for this out of our own pockets, and there's no reason to go break on. This is a hobby. Okay, a university's not paying for it. A sponsor's not paying for it. This is something I do on the weekends. It's not my everyday thing. So, don't break the bank. Just don't break it. And if you're married, your wife's gonna hate you for it anyways. So.
Oh yeah, I'm married. Trust me. I gotta go cheap.
Yep.
All right, guys. I cannot see the chat room. I'm sorry if I missed anybody. Richard is my chat guy tonight. Apparently, this is his show. I'm just here to listen. No, it's been great. It's been fun. But have you got anything else you want to get out before we get off here?
Just a reminder, everybody, if they watch this and stuff like that. Like I said before, the hurricane destroyed my vacation plans. I'm supposed to be in the woods right now. I wish I was because the weather is fantastic, and we got a full moon. It would have been perfect. I planned it just right, but it wasn't because of me. It was because of the hurricane, and the Florida Wildlife Commission canceled everybody's reservations. We all got emails saying we're canceling your reservation, stuff like that. I have put in another reservation, exact same spot. Everything's good to go. I'll know more Monday. I'll find out because they're still not open. They approved it or they took my money. But I'll talk to them on Monday to verify is everything good because I'll be out there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll come home on Sunday. Like I said, when we're out there right now by myself, hopefully somebody else will go with me. I set it up for 4 people. If any, people that I know want to come out. But it's one of the trips I do. I'll do this one. I'll try to do Thanksgiving, and I always try to do Christmas every year. I'm out in the woods on Christmas. So, So pay attention, stay tuned. Icebox will be a part of it. We'll do a live show or something from the field, from the camp or something like that, and go over that day's events or what we're doing and stuff like that, But there's one other thing I forgot to mention. Another very important piece of equipment. Document everything.
Mm-hmm.
I write in this book the date, the time, weather conditions, who was there, what equipment was used, and what evidence was found.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I put in this book. So if I ever want to go back and say, oh, on such and such date, everything, I can say, hey, on this date last year, this is what I found. This is what happened. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We have documentation. Very cheap. Get a notebook and a pen and document everything. If you're not documenting, you're going by memory and you're just going by your videos. So,
yep. Well, that's why I do videos.
But
I don't document.
Everything, weather conditions. Like if you had a sighting, Tom,
Mm-hmm.
you now documented the moon cycle or the weather. It was 85 degrees, breeze, no rain. That might be key down the road. See what I'm saying?
I know. Oh, I do. I know.
So documenting is very important. So I keep this in my backpack. I got 2 of them actually, in case I forget one. I got another one in the car, and I just jot notes down as much information as I could put in there.
You'd be surprised how weather, wind, rain, time of the year, it affects what you're trying to do. If you're going to be a serious researcher, you definitely do need to document.
Well, even moon phases affect animals.
Sure.
You know what I mean? We have a super bright moon. That tells me deer and everything, they're moving because it's daylight to them. They're moving. They're feeding. They're doing certain things. You know what I mean? So moon phases are very important as well. Not just for Sasquatch, but for hunting in general, for being in the woods in general. So.
And it works great with our night vision in color. Excellent stuff. All right, bud. We're going to get out of here unless you got anything else. And it's terrible. I can't read the chat. It's just killing me because I like to show people stuff.
It does. And I apologize to everybody they're saying stuff, but it's kind of hard for me to go over this and do that at the same time. You know what I mean? But I am seeing what everybody's saying. Like Ken made the comment when I talked about 400 feet from where you're at. He said it's about AGL, above ground level. And, that's what it is called. Wherever you're at, that's ground level. It doesn't matter if you're on the top of a hill or whatever, and stuff like that. So I am seeing what people are saying, and I'm trying to stay on task. But they're not out of sight, out of mind. Like I told everybody, Icebox cannot see the chat for some reason tonight, but I can, which is weird because I shouldn't. But I do. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing about it is people make comments, and I love to show their comments because I appreciate them coming and seeing the show and coming and being with us.
Well, it's all about them.
It is.
It's all about them.
It is. We love doing this kind of stuff, have fun, but I like including them, showing their comments because they take the time and come see us. And it's just terrible that I can't do it tonight. It kind of hurts my feelings, but that's the reason I like reading the chat. I can find out what everybody says. I just like making them part of the show because they're special to me, and I know they are to you too.
Oh, my subscribers are everything. I thank them every single time. You know what I mean? Because I do it for them. I do it for them, really. There's a lot of people that can't do what I do. They live in a city, or they have a disability, or whatever reason they can't get out there. Well, they can go through me. They can live that experience through me. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what really made me do it was, in even talking to my team, Jimmy and Bobby and stuff, I always tell them all the time, I want to do things for the subscriber. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
I want them to be a part of what I'm doing.
You want to bring them along.
Yeah, I get emails all the time. Anybody ever wants to ask a question or reach out to me, it's bffgbigfootresearch@gmail.com. Very simple, just like the title. And I'll respond. Give me a day or so, but I will respond. The subscribers are very, very important. Very important.
Okay. I hope that showed up. I'm sure it did.
Yeah, that's wrong. It's BFFG Bigfoot Research.
Yeah, I know you changed it on me, you big.
Well, the BFFG stands for that, but if you're going to look for the YouTube channel, it's like what's on my screen right now, BFFG Bigfoot Research. That's all they got to do
Yep.
is type in. It'll probably pop
Yep.
up if you just type in BFFG. It'll probably pop up right away. So,
Okay.
but hey, thanks, Josh. Josh said, great live, guys. Henry says, camping, lots of peat meals and water. Yes, very important to have plenty of that. Henry says, I got some gear, but everything is bought on sale. That's the right way to go.
Yep, it is.
Henry says, thanks for the info. Leonard says, great show this evening. Thank you, Icebox and Richard. Great info on drone regs that I was certainly unaware and unfamiliar with. Thanks, gentlemen. So we got some great comments. To be honest with you, I wish you could have seen it because these guys were the people in the chat room were great tonight. A lot of positive feedback, really good stuff. Old Bear was there for a little bit. I don't know if he's still there or not, but he was there.
I think he had to go work tomorrow, so he had to go to bed.
Yeah, but it was a great chat. It was. I mean, I wish I could have done more with the chat. Usually when I'll
tell you what we'll do. I'll go back and I'll read the chat, and I'll pick specific stuff that they may want to ask. And when you do your live, maybe you can show some more stuff that they may have questions about, and we'll go through it again. I mean, yeah, we're going to try to do a live with you and catch up on what happened, but you can. I can ask you certain questions of how your equipment worked out for that day or that night. And
also they can email me questions and I'll look at the questions, write them down. So when we do a live, I can say, hey, so-and-so email me. This is their question. And I'll answer it right there live.
That'll be great. That'll be great.
There's a lot of ways to reach out. So
now you did hook up on your channel tonight, didn't you?
Usually when we do restream, it does go to my channel as well. I never know until we end the show and then I go and look to see if it's there.
Okay.
Hopefully it does because it didn't ask me this time when it came on. It didn't ask me. So hopefully it does. But I did put it out there that when I put it out on my channel, I just said, go to Dirt Road and I'll be, live on that show tonight. So,
well, I was wanting to include them too. Also, if I see anything in the chats, I'll let you know. But yeah, email Richard with any kind of questions and we'll try to go over it on the lives and see if we can't get your questions answered for you.
Yeah. We'll have a good time. Remember, I'm on vacation, so not only am I looking for Sasquatch, I want to have fun. I want to have some fun too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to catch up on some readings. I got still working through the book by Jeff Meldrum. Still working through the book from Brian King Sharp. So I'll do some reading while I'm out there and stuff. So a lot of off-camera stuff.
Oh yeah, always. All right, bud. Well, we're gonna get out of here because it's that time. And I'm gonna have to get ready to go to work myself. Guys, we do appreciate y'all coming, and I'm sorry about the chat. It's the first time it's ever happened to me, or no, it's probably about the second time, but that's been like a year or two ago when it first happened to me. But I do apologize. Thank you, Richard, for helping me out with that. Guys, I don't know what else to tell you, but we're gonna get out of here. I hope you enjoyed it. We want to just try to show you what equipment we done, and what we use, and we're not very expensive. It can be done. I mean, just the little stuff that I've got helps out a lot. The stuff that Richard's got is accumulated over probably a year or two, I would think. The stuff that like Randy Harrington and Johnny Two Bears, with the equipment they've got, I'm sure they had to build up to it too. But these things will work, and when you can afford to go higher or better, do so then. But if you're actually wanting to try to get out there and have a little fun, look for Bigfoot. There you go. You can do it. But camping, all of it's going to cost you a little bit. So, but get out there and enjoy yourselves. You got anything else, Richard?
No. There was other stuff I wanted to go over, like battery packs and stuff. There's always important and stuff like that. Got to have ways to charge your shit while you're out there. So, but other than that, I think the show was great. We got through a lot of stuff. I usually, when I do my campouts, I do a show where I do my equipment and stuff like that because I have it all on a picnic table and I go over it and stuff. So, there's still, I got a ton of stuff here that we didn't go over, but it's all little things that, like I said, you find little uses for everything. You know what I mean?
It makes it easier when you're camping.
Oh, I do. There's tiny little things that I do that people are like, holy crap, I never thought of that. You know what I mean? Just little things that I do, that I've learned and that help out, like hanging your voice recorder on a tree. I use tacks. They're cheap and I can reuse them. So I tack it, see what I'm saying, into a tree. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean?
I want to see them lights. That's what I want to see. Your perimeter lights.
That's what I want to see. Yeah, I'm gonna run a rope from one tree to another, and then these have hooks on them, little hooks, and I'm gonna hang them from the light so they shine downward. So if I do a live or we do a podcast or something, I have lighting because last time I did it out there, I thought I was being cool to use the campfire, but that campfire was dying slowly, and it got darker, darker. So I needed some kind of light that I can turn on and we can do the show and they can see me just fine and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's cool. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Richard, when you get your lives, bring all that other stuff up. Let's show them what it really looks like in action. That'll be fun to do. And I think a lot of people be interested in that too. But we're gonna get out of here. Richard, anything else, bud?
Nope. I just want to wish everybody well. God bless. And anybody that was in Florida that went through Milton or anybody that went through Helene, God bless you. Your prayers are with you guys. I know we just went through it. It was rough. It was rough.
I checked on Richard just about every day, if it wasn't every day.
Yeah.
Just to make sure he was all right.
The hurricane itself was bad. It was probably one of the worst ones I've been through, but we got hit by a tornado, and that caused most of my damage. The hurricane itself did not increase any damage. It was the tornado that did most of it. And the tornado hit 10 hours before the hurricane even hit land.
Yeah, that was odd.
Yeah. So I lost power 10 hours before anybody else. And I ended up being without power for 3.5 days. So, but luckily temperatures were better here. It wasn't 100 degrees in the house. So things worked out really good,
Okay. Well, we're glad you're all right. Like I said, I did check on him every day. We can't have nothing happen to old Richard. It just bothered me too much. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. Thank y'all coming and being with us, and y'all be sure to go over to BFFG Bigfoot Research. What's the name of the channel again?
BFFG Bigfoot Research
is the name of the channel now.
BFFG Bigfoot. It's always been that. BFFG Bigfoot Research.
I've never had to put in research. I'm already there when I put in BFFG.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Y'all go over and check him out. He does a lot of good stuff, hiking. He's doing his camping. I love his videos. So y'all go over and y'all check him out. And hopefully, guys, I'm hoping Waylon will be back with us next Thursday. If not, we'll try to do another show next week. Y'all come be with us. Y'all have a safe weekend and good night. See you, Richard.
Take care, buddy.